Oh, this is
Welshy,
like
can
the
you even
millionth
grow
time Steam
facial
was
hair?
broken.
What?
Can you even grow facial hair?
Yeah,
That's
once.
not even that hair on his head. That's not even hair.
One. I have to shave my one facial hair.
No, I can, but one, it takes like forever, and two, I look like I will kill children. Like I shouldn't be allowed out.
I could see that.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good.
So he'd rather look like a child than someone who would kill children.
Yeah, I really would. It's not a good look. It's.
But I can't necessarily see Welshy being friendly to children anyways.
No.
'Cause
No.
he's not the type to walk up, oh, nice child. No.
No.
Leave me alone, kid.
He's the type to walk up on that child to
Oh, nice
like
child.
If you're walking up a gun, nice child, then there's nothing wrong with
You got issues.
Nice child.
Oh, girl,
Kids,
you got a nice set of tits. Oh.
There it is.
We're gonna cross the lines early today.
Wow.
And Ham's just like, whoa, what did I just walk into?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I should step back out. Or not.
Nope, you're stuck here now.
All right, I'll delay no further. We're all here. Sound good? Yeah. All right. It's April 6th, 2014, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I could hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin was mentioned. You're just cringing.
Welcome all to episode 420 of Mods on Air, bringing you the week in gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I happen to be Foyleman, but also on the show we have with us Welshy. Hello, Welshy.
Hello.
Hello, and we also have with us Stryder. Hello, Stryder.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Ham is with us. Hello, Ham.
Hey, guys.
And Breesy. Hello, Breesy.
Hello.
Hey, yes, 420. Yeah, we're going to talk about the week in gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves, and we are going to bring it to you in our own special little format. So,
Which, because of Twitch, is probably going to be odd. It'll be an odd format.
it's going to it may offend. So if you're worried about adult topics or young children being seen by Welshy, please take them away.
You're the one that said it.
All right. I don't know. A lot of topics? I wouldn't say that. There were some topics that showed up near the end of this week to talk about. One of the interesting things that came up was something from Amazon. Amazon, we knew, when was it? 2 weeks ago that they threw money at a game console or a desktop. No, not a desktop. Under the TV kind of thing.
Yeah.
Box. Set top, thank you, to a stream. We didn't really know, but there was going to be a controller with it and that kind of thing, because we knew that they were trying to do some gaming-related stuff. Well, they came up with this thing called Amazon's Fire TV, and a gamepad that goes along with it, which I have a picture of the controller right here, this really boxy, big-looking thing that doesn't look like will fit into my hands.
I don't understand the fascination with everybody trying to get this be the set top. We've got all these different versions of it coming out. From Amazon's jumping on board, the Steam box, they're all trying to get a piece of that console pie, but they're not offering anything that isn't already out there, and they're not offering anything that makes me want to sway away from my PC for gaming.
Their misplaced idea is that if they're at the center of your living room experience, then they'll also be at the center of your checkbook or your wallet. And that's not always the case. History's shown us that, but yet they keep trying.
Well, Amazon has had a Android store for a very long time. They just don't seem to really promote it, or it never catches my eye. But then again, I don't have an Android device that I'm regularly using, so that could be why too. I don't know. Do you guys? Breesy seems like an Android type user, phone, right?
I know I've actually got an iPhone.
Okay.
I have an Android.
Okay, so do you happen to know about Amazon Store and use it, or do you really not care?
I really don't care.
Yeah. So it's not a prevalent thing.
No. I mean, it's useful if you have like a Kindle or a whatever the hell the other one is, where you buy books and you buy digital newspapers and you buy all that stuff. But as for a gaming device, if you really want an Android device, just go buy like a Ouya or something.
But that's my thought here is why would I want to sit in my living room and play a phone game or a phone app or read a phone app book on my TV? That makes no sense to me. If I'm actually taking the effort to sit on my couch and watch, but seriously, if I am sitting on my couch to watch TV, it's to watch TV. Otherwise, I'm either unfortunately, in front of my computers, either working or playing games, or outside.
I think there's logic to it. It just doesn't work yet. The logic is everyone has a phone. Let's make games for the phone so everybody can use it and enjoy it. But the phones aren't there yet compared to the consoles or the PC.
Even then, you're getting the same game 800 times with a slightly different name. It's not even like modified game. It's the exact same game.
Here's a roll of games coming from Amazon that I'm going to play for you while you talk about that, because it'll show you they're not the same game. They're trying. They're making Wii games. Really, it's what it really kind of feels like.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon has a game studio now. I think they've produced one game probably for this Fire TV. Right, there it is. Yeah, Amazon Game Studios.
Which this model.
But again, what are you getting? You're not going to get like if they're trying to compete with the consoles that are out there and established, you're not going to do it with games with low quality graphics, sucky gameplay. I mean, these are all app style games.
And that may be who they're going after. They might be going after the parent who wants to sort of placate a kid without spending lots of money. They might be going after the casual mom who wants to see what this is all about without laying down a lot of money.
It's that T-Rex with a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
I thought it was with a laser, but yeah.
I think unfortunately what'll happen is we're going to see a ton of low quality application phone ports and no real quality games. If you get one, it's going to be too late. And even then, I'm not going to buy a set top to play one game.
Well, there's
you wouldn't, but how many people bought the Xbox for Titan, and that's it?
Well, but I mean,
I am going to say
that's the. But again, you're talking an entirely different type of game. That's something that's so hyped up, and so much money thrown at it as AAA. You could throw a ton of money at a phone app. It's still going to be a phone app, and if you port it to a TV, it's still a phone app. Doesn't matter how much money you throw at it. The phone is only capable of doing so much, and that's what they're programming for. You program something for this, then again, you're putting one title on a console.
Well, okay, so you remember a couple of weeks ago, one of the great flaws that we sort of mined up was that Ouya, they either should have had some first party titles, or they should have gotten some high profile people to make some great games for it before they launched it. And now that I think about it, Apple doesn't have a first-party game studio. Google doesn't have it. Well, they do now. Google now has a first-party game studio, but that's sort of at the launch of Android. They don't have sort of in-house game developers. At that time, they didn't. And Amazon, at the very least, has some in-house game developers, and they're going to be targeting this Fire TV. So at the very least, they should be able to produce some content and say, this is what we want. This is the experience we want. We don't want phone games ported. Ideally, let's create the experiences we want to see on our device, and that may be what we'll see here instead of
here's the problem with that, though, is they've got this Amazon Fire TV games, gamepad, whatever. It's out with nothing to do with it.
Sure.
So they're going to be playing catch up, trying to win. This all should have been done prior to launch. There
Agreed.
should have been a whole bunch of shit, like you're saying. We had this thought, but now they've said, oh, you know what? Here's our hardware. Everybody will buy our hardware. Why? Well, because there's a potential. Well, right now, there's no potential. It's like saying the Oculus has so much potential. It does, but
Not
where's it going to go? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point. Yeah, you're right.
Potential without a target or potential without realization is just a pipe dream.
Yeah, very true. You're right. They should have had these games out because of course, I mean, for a developer who's either greedy or cash strapped, or just, I don't know, just maybe in good faith, the idea is to spend as little resources as possible to take your existing game and put it to a new platform, not to kind of go all out. And of course, the result ends up being lots of phone games ported, which is exactly.
Here's a case in point of playing catch up and trying to force something onto a system. Call of Duty on the Wii.
Yeah.
Let's take the fame and fortune of the Call of Duty franchise, and there's a whole market of Wii players out there that we're not attacking. This is not me speaking. This is the board of directors of the Call of Duty machine. Let's take and get all them playing Call of Duty as well. Anybody that's actually seen that port or that iteration of that franchise title, let alone played it, is thinking to themselves, like, I don't get it. I don't get why there's so much hype about Call of Duty, because that's what they've seen and that's what they're judging it by. Yeah. It's horrendous. There's certain things that you can do with certain things, and I'm sorry, there is a limitation with an Android application.
I agree.
Yeah,
I do agree.
Well, on this thing, they're selling the controller alone for $40. I don't know what the Firebox costs.
Right.
Yeah, if you look at that topic, there's two comments on there. Like, I've got my Fire TV, but I'm not going to get the controller for like 6 months.
Does it ship with a controller? Is this just for extra controllers? No. Oh, okay.
But I believe you can hook up an Xbox 360 pad into it, which is kind of makes the entire thing completely pointless.
Well, I think it comes with a remote control, like a TV remote control, and this controller will allow you to play the games on it. Another thing, which I'm surprised they didn't just throw an app at everybody, saying, well, use the app for now until we get the controller out to you guys.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If they got like an app where you just use your phone.
Which is also awful, but at least they'd have something. Awful because you can't feel the controls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just awful. It's horrible implementation. Again, horrible implementation of a mediocre design, or not design. I shouldn't say design. It's horrible implementation of a mediocre
idea.
Idea, yeah, essentially the idea.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't see it in the topics, so I'm going to throw it out here. But Google announced a Android TV just yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I think it's almost in direct response to this news of the Amazon Fire TV.
They've been talking about doing something like that for a while because they want get their Google-ness all over everything.
Yeah, Google-ness. I hate being covered in Google.
My word.
There is no. What are you going to do with it? Google should not be on the TV. They've been trying to do their internet TV for their IP-based TV, which was going okay, and then all of a sudden disappeared. They do a lot of that. If it doesn't catch on, they abandon it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the way their business is structured. People are going to make money in the business when they attach themselves to projects that make money. So if the project isn't going anywhere, they abandon it and they move on.
Yep.
Am I going to go out and buy one? No, absolutely not. I'll just. You know what? I used to be into the Samsung TVs and their apps that go along with it. I'll stick with the Roku, and I'll just get. I still like the Samsung TV, but maybe I'll get something else. It's not going to have anything to do with the apps that are in there.
Is the problem that people, when they turn on the TV, just want to watch TV and they don't want to be encumbered with all this extra stuff?
Well, No, because you gotta have your games and you gotta. It's like it's ridiculous. It's just like if I'm turning on the TV, I just want to sit there and not really do anything. That's the reason I'm watching the TV.
Snapping Bing and snapping Skype all over your TV. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's. Most of the time when I sit down and watch the TV, it's because I just want to switch off and not really think about anything. I just want to sit there. It's like I don't want to have to then go. Okay, nope. Well, I gotta do all this shit with my hands and go. No, I don't want that. I don't want that.
It's bad enough when my missus starts talking while I'm watching TV. If the TV is fucking doing it to me, I'm not going to be happy. You can't hit the TV. It's just not right.
So you no, all right. Well, if you clicked on the article and you notice at the bottom of the article it said something about taking a look at the prices, it would end up bringing you to this page here. I'm going to throw it into the comment chat window for everyone to see. It brings you over to the page that shows you where you can purchase the controller. But what else you'll notice on this page is, you scroll down a little, critic reviews, user critic, Metacritic reviews. Even though there aren't any reviews yet, no, there are some critic reviews, and only like one or two, no user reviews yet, because no one owns one. What's going on is they're adding this all to their gaming side of things, Metacritic reviews for everything. If you scroll even to the bottom of that, it says, how does it stack up? And they show you how their controller stacks up against Microsoft One, Sony DualShock 3, Microsoft One Kinect as a controller.
Are always really accurate.
I've never put any sort of weight on Metacritic at all. Just because we've seen in the past, we've talked about it on the show multiple times, where people just go in because they never even played the game, never even bought it, but they're a Call of Duty fan and, fuck Battlefield, so I'm going to go on the Metacritic and rate it down.
Yeah, the game way too easy.
Like, I just don't even pay attention to Metacritic scores for that reason, because... Yeah.
I put some weight into them,
too.
But I don't live or die by
No. I do look at the Metacritic reviews, and I think subconsciously they do sway me. But I read through the reviews. I'm not just taking, there's a number, go.
I try to read a few of every category, a few at the top, a few at the bottom, a few in the middle.
If they all talk about the same thing, you can tell what is wrong with the game or what people are just griping about.
I sometimes read them, but I would much rather actually look through some playthroughs and things like that on YouTube and actually see the game, see what people are actually talking about it.
Yeah. Well, all these games right now, you can still probably purchase a box, but EA really wants to just make it all digital. They want to get rid of all discs.
Well, that's the way of all
Charge you
companies.
the same price.
Yeah. How else can you force people to use your Origin store that's failing?
Yeah. Yeah, but that makes no sway, even if I have discs, because even if you've installed it, you still got to use Origin. So
Yeah,
Right.
it's fucking hilarious though that I'm getting because I have an Origin account because of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I am getting emails like they're giving shit away for free every week.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Just please use Origin.
Here's the example as well, is every now and again, I'll fire up, I have Steam on all the time, but I'll fire it up just to see if there's any updates and whatnot. But Origin, the other day, I opened this up and it came to login screen, and I'm like, I don't remember my password. Oh, fuck it, and just turned it off. I haven't. So that's how little I care about Origin. I don't know what the password is. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even got Origin installed since I did my upgrade.
And your PC thanks you.
It does. Every day we're freeborn.
It could be worse. It could be worse, Welshy. I tried to log into a sort of a banking system this morning. I forgot what it was called, Exchange or something like that. And I know my username and password, and I type it in. And they're like, oh, well, here, you have to answer this security question. What was your first make and model of your car? And I enter it, and they're like, no, that's not it. I'm like, yeah, that's it. So I enter it again. And they're like, no, that's not it, but don't try one more wrong answer and you're locked out. And I'm like, no, here it is again. And they're like, sorry, you're locked out. You'll have to contact support. All right, I'll contact support. Support's only open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
No.
No banking for you.
The worst ones are those where they have like the weird sort of like off the wall questions that you never expect. You don't even know the answer to them personally. Like, when was the first time you saw a sunset on northern hemisphere of like? And you're just like, what? I don't even know what I would say to that.
So that could be the next origin.
See those, you get those questions where I'm never going to remember the answer to that. Like, it just ridiculous.
I know what car I bought. It didn't change. It didn't change. All right. Yeah, Phil Spencer is now the new head of Xbox, or Xbox One. Xbox, I'll say all of Xbox. And he plans on making Xbox more focused on gaming. Well, right now there is like no focus on gaming.
Because it's not a game console.
No, it's an entertainment console.
Entertainment system.
The way they go back and forth in these roles, it's like a soap opera.
Next week they're selling the diamond mine.
Don't buy into the diamond mine. I don't know what to say. They're just like they're trying to get ready for holiday sales.
I don't. Yeah, that's what I would say. It is. Ham's right though. It is like they just jump back and forth. It's almost like they just kind of. Okay, what's the thing that people are complaining about much? Okay, you're taking over this job. Yeah, when you take over the job, right, and you do an interview, tell them that you're going to focus on gaming because that's what everyone's complaining about.
Not enough of a game. Well, they should be. Well, they're also trying to focus on the idea of the Kinect, which I want to say is going to tie into the Xbox One, but it's not. They're again taking an Xbox product and saying, here everybody, here comes a version that'll work on your PC and that kind of stuff so that you can start working with the Kinect elsewhere. So yeah, Kinect now has a SDK for the new Kinect, the new Kinect. So,
well, this is all part of the Windows 8.1 movement where you have or Windows 8 and 8.1 where you've got a tablet. So now you're going to have the ability to sit at your computer and work your tablet without actually having to touch the screen.
Wait, you're right. I just saw them doing it.
Yeah.
Called it.
What?
Can't afford to get that screen dirty.
Yeah.
I will admit that I've seen these in the malls, and people are playing it in the mall, in the middle of the mall.
They're playing it. That's the thing. They're playing it because it's a novelty. It's got no practical application.
The solution looking for a problem. Or the novelty looking.
I'm sure when they came out with public payphones, everybody was going up to them, going, "Look at this! There's a phone." It's like
the hot tub time machine, the first cell phones. You'll never guess where I'm calling you from.
Okay, I've got to rewind that and pause it. Why the hell is a doctor in a lab coat zooming in on a percentage of gaming completed on his tablet? What is going on?
Meanwhile, somebody's like bleeding out on the office table. Yeah, do you want to like maybe finish this before you start playing Angry Birds?
Trying to get him to respawn here.
He might be playing Surgeon Simulator.
Yes.
If he plays Surgeon Simulator by anything like the way I do, that guy is dead.
Oh my goodness.
He's getting an achievement for that heart surgery.
Surgery, 85% complete.
Well, but that's the thing, though. They say that, yeah. The way things are going with this instant, 100 points, you killed somebody, 100 points, you died. You're going to have like achievements for people to do their jobs properly.
Oh no, you might be right.
we joke, but yeah, think about it. It'll be like, well done.
We're going to have to go back to that gold star on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold star, you came to work.
This is a 2-day streak.
Achievement unlocked. First day at work, 100 XP.
Yeah. Good for you.
And 4 more days of work and I level up. I'll be running this place before you fucking know it.
Yeah.
Like employee yearly reviews, you're gonna have to sit down and be like, so you needed 350 experience to only got 250, so we're gonna have to work on getting you some more points.
There is a double points weekend coming up.
That's overtime. Double points
We
weekend.
do it overtime, but it's a double XP weekend.
I love it. I love it.
I think there's a remake of Office Space in there, isn't it?
Next,
I'm going to request this option over at work.
And you can get prestige, like level 10 prestige.
Is that where you get you work your way right to the top, right? But then you do something stupid and you have to start at the bottom again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then everyone can promote it on Facebook.
But you get to walk around with a star on your shoulder or something.
Yeah.
Oh boy! All right. All right. Windows apps can run on your Xbox, but only the ones that Microsoft approves of, which is definitely makes sense since they're all the same operating system. Right, Ham? What does this mean? It means nothing. It really means nothing at all.
That means if you make games, you will not get your game on here.
That's right.
Only the darlings, the indie darlings.
On the other hand, we have Unreal that's trying to push over to wider support, which is also an interesting turn, or I wouldn't say turn, but there's a lot more development in development that's that's leaning towards Linux support, and that's what's happening here. Unreal Engine 4.1 adds SteamOS and Linux support.
I'm actually really impressed by everything I've seen from this Unreal Engine 4. Unreal Engine 4, sorry, not 4. All the videos, all the capabilities, it's a very pretty looking engine, and they're really pushing it out there to try and be the engine that everybody wants to use. From the way that they're doing their cost models to the way that they're providing support. I don't know.
I would happily.
I think they're positioning themselves to be the next gaming engine that everybody's going to be using.
I can't remember, but I think we've seen news in the last couple months that said somebody new is heading up over at Epic, and maybe that's why we're seeing a lot more news development. Because they got a better PR agent.
What's his pickle left?
Oh yeah, he did, but what was he other than just the
the mouthpiece?
Yeah, sure, we'll call it that.
But yeah, the Linux support though, it's interesting because I wonder whether this is the beginning of using Windows for gaming. This is sort of the beginning of the end of it.
It can't be. It can't be because businesses can't use Linux yet. When that happens, then it's over.
Well, I don't mean Linux, just Windows in general. Like everybody will start. What I mean is, like, are we going to start seeing people? Because I would happily sit there. If I've said this before, if on release days for games there was a Windows and a Linux version, I would happily sit there and take the Linux version.
I wouldn't, because now I have to have 2 computers.
That is true.
Which is not a big deal. I have like 5 computers, but you see what I'm getting at.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it's going to be like next week. Everybody's like, yeah, we're on Linux now. It's not that. Because, yeah, you're right. The company still use it. I would still have to use it at work. It wouldn't be like...
By the same token, though, you have the option with PCs nowadays to boot whatever OS you want on boot up. Yeah, I could have 3 different OSs on this tower. So I could, if I'm going to sit down for a gaming session, yeah, I'll boot into Linux because it's not as heavy as Windows.
And then you have to wait. Then you have to wait for your Skype and everything to do whatever it needs to do because you've been using your Windows and that's all updated, or the other way around, and it becomes a frustrating event because it's something you don't always use.
But that's what I think Welshy's saying though is if the developers start hammering these things out where, yeah, here's the Windows version, here's the Linux version, you get this Linux gaming movement, then yeah, I would install Linux on this as a bootable OS and game on Linux, because most definitely the processing power that's being eaten up in the background by just having Windows running so that I can, run my games would all be gone, and I'll,
I'm getting
milk more juice out of this box.
Last week, my Windows PC started taking longer to boot. It seems like out of nowhere. One day, boom. Let's take a really long time to boot up. I think it's because I have a mapped drive and it can't find the drive that it's mapped to because it's a network over the internet network type drive.
It's one of those drives.
Yeah, well, I got to work from several offices.
Yeah, are you using a VPN for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's why.
But, and I know I wouldn't have that issue if I was running Linux. Linux says, "You there? No, all right, we'll move on."
What I'm saying, it's not like it's going to be, but not even this year. I'm talking like 4 or 5 years in the future, maybe.
Could be. I still think businesses have to adopt it first.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, because it would be the thing of I would have Linux at home, but then like Stryder is saying, you could just dual boot stuff. Like, it's not.
I walked into the middle of the what's wrong with this idea. Last night, I went out and I overheard somebody's conversation, which I had to later jump in on, but it was somebody walked up. Yeah, you know what?
Let it go.
Yeah,
no, and you'll see why. No, you'll understand why.
Complete strangers, but I couldn't let this go.
They're blah 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 talking, and one guy's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? I haven't played in a really while, and I think you and I should really start playing a Star Trek Online." And I'm shaking my head, and I'm not saying anything. And then the other guy says, "Well, that's funny because just last week I tried to play my World of Warcraft game again and get into that account." And he says, "But the problem is every time I start it up, my computer shuts down." But my computer is like 5 years old, and I think there's something wrong with the video card. So that's the problem. Is we have to get is that people don't know how to work with a PC.
It's the same with those people that go, I got a console. Consoles are way better. The graphics are, I try and play that on my computer and it doesn't run. And it's like, well, buy a new computer then.
So if you're not a hardcore gamer, you're going to have to be making a game for a more elite set of people, which there aren't as many of, although those that there are willing to spend money. And those people have to have a Linux PC available or know what they're doing to set it up. What's up, Stryder?
But then,
or you get
OS,
or you get phone apps on your.
And that's why that works.
Yeah, that's the other option.
Because people are willing to throw $40 or $50 here and there, but they're not willing to go out and get a decent PC on a game that's the only game that they're really interested in. Even though they do that with the Xbox, they don't know that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is you've got the Unreal Engine now on Linux. The next iteration of the Source Engine is going to be on Linux, or its successor. Crytek's CryEngine is on Linux. Unity. So like all the big players are going to be on Linux, and I think what's going to be the real push is if the developers say, hey, the Linux port runs better, and it's going to start at the top. People who really care about performance and who have the means to do it are going to end up sort of jumping on board and like, well, let me get the best bang for my buck. And then kind of from there, it may trickle down, and we may end up seeing.
But are we going to see people switching over their PCs, or are you going to see more people buying Linux-based consoles?
You know what, though, Foil, is I think what you're going to see people getting a Steam OS, which is a Linux box, or you're going to get a Steam box, or you're going to get people installing Linux, because the way Windows is going, Windows 8, 8.1, and 9 are all planned to be tablet OSs. They're moving away from PCs. The business models can't do that. You can't do a tablet at work.
No, I know.
So what's going to happen is Windows is forcing itself out of the market somehow. I don't know what what thought process farted that idea out, but they're destroying their business base And Linux is like, okay, go ahead, destroy it. We'll make sure we're in a position where a year and a half from now, when you guys have completely shit the bed, we'll come in, we'll be the savior, and sorry, that little flag that's on your screen at boot up now is not going to be there 3 or 4 years from now. I think with the advent of the Windows 8 and moving away from supporting their business model of supporting businesses, Microsoft has started this themselves.
Yeah. Yes, they have. I think so. Somebody in the office said, "Hey, we might be moving over to Windows 8 now that they brought the desktop back." Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I chuckled. I said, "No, no." All right. Let's talk about some games, some actual games. We have this one here that is being put together by the group that did Amnesia, which was an okay game. I think it's called Soma. And this one is going to be also supposed to be horror-like, but based underwater. There's not a lot to know about this game just yet. Frictional Games was a group that put this together.
They've been on a good streak so far with their Penumbra series and Amnesia.
I just cannot play these kind of games.
Why not?
Don't know, it just don't interest me at all.
Well, there's not a lot of excitement going on. It's sort of like a more involved Nancy Drew, where you're going through the game and finding things,
Yeah.
and then something is preventing you from going forward that's supposed to make it scary. Well, I'm talking about Amnesia, Like they make you all dizzy so you can't move forward because you're scared or something, and I didn't find it scary. It just, all right.
Did you do what they said? Did you play it in a dark room with headphones?
I think I bought Amnesia at one point, and I think I played the first 20 minutes or so, and I just spent the whole time wandering around going, where's the shotgun? I want a shotgun. Can I have a shotgun now? I want to shoot something.
I never finished Amnesia. It freaked me out.
But I get what they do, why people like it and stuff. I think they're focusing on the old style horror movies where you don't really see anything.
Was that the game where if you played it with the headphones, you'd hear all the whispering and and all that going on? Yeah, we saw that at PAX, didn't we?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think it was
Maybe I'm
out
thinking of a different game
before that.
where it was almost subconscious, a subconscious thriller where you'll be playing the game and all of a sudden have the desire to go hang yourself or whatever.
Good game. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the exact thing I felt when I played.
We call this game natural selection. We're reintroducing it. Not tying into the game called natural selection. Just bringing back something that nature intended to have.
All right. Well, also what seems to be going on is we've already known that some game companies like to put in Easter eggs into their games, and yes. Battlefield is not new to that. Here they put in Megalodon, the giant dinosaur, which people aren't sure was actually there before or not. There was some sort of rumor, and then suddenly they released a certain map, and out comes Megalodon that somebody finally saw, which is. I like the idea of this. I like the idea that you could be playing what you think is a pretty normal game, and then this is the same thing again. And then all of a sudden, something different happens. And here, it is truly giant. What I don't like is that everyone under the shark didn't die.
Well, apparently, it doesn't just appear. You have to have 10. You have to have 10 of your players surrounding a certain buoy. And then the shark will appear.
How did they figure that out?
That's what the video shows.
How did they figure that out?
Because there's people that play this game with nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, akin to the hot coffee mod, somebody said, "Hey, let's accidentally release this. Well, I'll tell one person, and that one person will tell two people, and each of those two people will tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and so on.
What I think is funny is this game's so good that we spent our time floating around a buoy in the water.
Yep.
Well, you have lots of extra time when you're...
people that have Origin like to float around buoys.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I like the big attention to this. Look, there's a big shark. Look at the big shark. Forget the game, that doesn't work. Look at the big shark.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, please, remember that thing that doesn't work? Yeah, but look, big shark. Big shark.
The shark works.
Yeah.
With his patch notes, added big shark.
Yes. Now they're patch notes to read. 50% more shark.
Yeah. Well,
all shark all the time.
This is set up for the Sharknado mod.
5
Sharknado mod. Yeah, that's funny.
Add this to your script, Welshy. The idea that every time a bug comes up, you start talking about some new addition. The shark. All right. Also, part of that conversation that I brought up was somebody brought up the idea of Elder Scrolls, because Elder Scrolls Online is now released.
Is it?
And I'm like,
but
but...
that was my exact point. Elder Scrolls is now released, and Breesy goes, is it? Yeah. No one cares.
Right. Well, I also don't think it's out on console yet. I think it's just on PC. And there are a number of people that I heard saying,
isn't it?
I want it on console, I want it on console. Yes, that's what I brought up in the conversation. I was like, yeah, but do you really want to buy a full price game and pay $15 a month? That is what the subscription is, isn't it?
Yep.
I believe so, yeah.
Also, though, interestingly, it's on OS X. Which is weird.
Oh, that I missed. I missed that part.
Yeah.
What?
Finally, a use for my Mac.
Only game on the Mac.
No, there's lots of phone games out there. There is.
It's interesting. It's interesting because when we went to PAX, they hadn't set their subscription model, and I point blank asked him what it would be.
Yeah, he really didn't want to tell you, did he?
Well, no. The answer he gave was, he said, because I said, well, what is it going to be in comparison to Star Wars Online, and how that backfired on them. And he said, well, what were the 3 things they did wrong? And I said, well, A, the price was too high. B, there was no content worth the subscription price. And C, it was just too much. Which, yeah, it's a repeat, I know. And he says, we're not doing any of that. He says, our subscription model is going to be in the neighborhood of $6 to $7 a month.
Oh.
And there's going to be content released weekly. So they're coming out with $15 a month. And I doubt very much that you're going to see content released weekly.
It brings back the all the bad parts to you, probably, of the Star Wars game. Like, without the Star Wars content, but all the money.
Yeah. But essentially, yeah, that's just a straight-up money grab.
Well, I can't remember who I said this to, but I think it was Igor, one of the fans of the show, that he drops in every now and again. Some of you know him as Raven. He was playing it. I saw that he was playing it before it came out. And I said, so how is it? And he's like, yeah, it's not that great. And our conversation went along the lines of, it's something that they're releasing something that nobody asked for. What everybody wanted was Elder Scrolls co-op. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to just play the same game, exactly the same, but I want to do it with my friends online. And I want to have like 4 or 5 of us running around. You know, you make the enemies a bit more difficult because there's more of you. That's what people wanted. Not an entirely different MMO, which plays completely differently to what everybody liked and loved.
And on that note of that co-op, it can be done because I believe there's a Fallout mod that does it. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody was working on the Elder Scrolls mod, were they not? For the exact,
yeah, I was reading about it the other day. This one was for Fallout, but so it can be done. It would have been a lot easier just to do that than...
The group last night tried to justify, yeah, well, I understand the price, but these are developers that have really proven themselves. I said, proven themselves in the single-player genre. This is a multiplayer game.
There is a very big difference.
I've played the beta across a couple weekends, and my opinion still very much stands that if it released with a Guild Wars 2 model, a pay once, it probably would have been worth getting or checking out. But as a high-priced pay monthly game, it's just there's no way they can justify that.
I mean, I don't have a massive interest in this. I couldn't get into Skyrim that much. I mean, not to say that it was a bad game, because I know the second I say that, somebody's like, "What? How can you?" But I just couldn't get into it. I'm not a big fan of the whole themes. I guess the whole Wizards. But
I didn't mind it, but I mean, I got sucked into oblivion for far too long.
That's the problem with these games.
I was determined I was not going to get sucked into Elder Scrolls. I bought it when it was on sale, but I mean, it's another one of those fucking games that I'll probably never play.
I just couldn't. I guess maybe if I jump back into it later down the line, I'll be like, oh yeah, I can get into it. I don't know. I think just things.
You got to put the time into it, isn't it?
It's that too. And I think other things came out at the same time, and it was like, oh well, I've been waiting for. I think Mass Effect 3 may have came out at the same time, and something else did too. But I can't remember what it was.
Well, so there's also people out there that are complaining about this subscription model because they are apparently they're authorizing or sort of like pre-charging people for the subscription. So if you have $12 in your account and you sign up for the subscription, they take the 15 and you're overdrafted.
What?
That's the key point, though, as well. Like, I like Skyrim, but I can't bring myself to subscribe to it. But this isn't Skyrim.
Right. You want it to be, and it's not.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like that's the conversation we had. It's something that people didn't ask for. What they wanted was co-op Skyrim, not an MMO. Like they're set in the same world, and it's
20,000 years apart or something like that.
Well, yeah.
You remember when we were standing in line at PAX to play this, and that was purely, or not to play this, but to play Skyrim. It was 2 years ago.
The first Skyrim, yeah.
Yes, Skyrim. And we were standing in line, and everybody in line is like, why can't they just put co-op? Why can't we just have co-op? Even if it's just two-player co-op, why can't we have co-op? That's what everybody wanted. Yeah. That was everybody in line.
Not an MMO that they can play. Like it wasn't just. It's like it is literally. We can make money off this.
Well, but we've discussed this before. The days of running a successful pay-for subscription-based model are long gone.
You think so?
Yeah, WoW was pretty much.
WoW was the crowning glory of a subscription-based model. Everybody tries to capitalize on that thought process now. They're playing catch-up, and no one is buying into that subscription-based model. Now everything is all microtransactions, pay to win, pay to be better, pay for that little bit of an advantage, pay for eliteness. But a subscription-based model, just to you buy the game and then you get to rent your playtime. Might as well fucking take a roll of quarters to the arcade.
Yeah.
True. You see, I mean, do you see it never coming back? It's just there can be nothing that grand.
I don't believe it will. Because the thought process of the consumer base has changed.
What I would be interested to find out is whether or not Star Wars: The Old Republic has been more successful as a subscription-based model versus a free-to-play.
They're constantly declining player base. When we first started playing that game, I think they had 200 servers that you join worldwide, which essentially is in Europe and North America. They are down to something like 30 servers now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's not a lot at all.
I jumped back in when it was free to play a couple of weeks ago, and
it's you're so nerfed on it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's like if you're gonna start playing again, you are going to subscribe because it's gonna drive you crazy otherwise.
Which is why I went back and played with some of the guys on TeamSpeak, and I was like, after the first play session, right, I'm just gonna subscribe. So I subscribed for a month, and that was it. I was just like, yep, nope, still the same game.
So that WildStar game is planning to be subscription based too.
WildStar. Which one was that?
Yeah, it's like a WoW 2.0
Okay.
type thing. But that's an MMO that's coming up. And between Skyrim and WildStar, those are the two big MMOs that I know are getting a lot of coverage. And both want to be subscription based. It's nice.
Why don't I know this WildStar Online? You say it's like the next big up and coming one, but I don't know it.
No?
It looks animated. Like, it looks cartoony, I should say.
Right, and they're trying to do that on purpose. I guess they feel they can make content easier that way, or a bit more inviting.
Yeah, of course they can.
I don't know, and then I guess you got some
Team Fortress 2 MMO.
Yep.
Oh God, yeah.
Don't
Now
give
with
them
more
ideas.
hats.
Yeah.
There's a Legos MMO, yet another one coming up.
That'll fail again.
Yeah. So I don't know if that one's going to be subscription based.
They can't be because Lego has failed 2 subscription-based models now. They're not going to try a third.
Third time lucky.
Always say I'm lucky.
So I mean,
If they're going to charge you $40 to $60 a year, then they got to give the game away for free. You can't charge $60 for a game and then charge $60 to play it.
No.
And that's the thing. You've got Guild Wars 2, $60 for the game, but it's free to play. Now, unfortunately, they've gone a different route and said, well, rather than releasing quality content, on a quarterly basis, we're going to release shit content on a weekly or monthly basis, and it just you chip away your player base by providing them crap. You're not. That was why I stopped playing Guild Wars, was because it was just, what are we doing? Well, we got to grind this. Oh, okay. Why are we grinding this? Well, because they haven't thought of anything for us to do, so we just have to do a mindless grind. That's just. I'm sorry, that's not fun.
I have fun with that. Well,
That's because you're a level whore. That's why.
No, well, I wasn't.
Well, even then, you max out your levels though. It's you get nothing out of this grind. To grind. Why? Well, because it's going to end.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's going to end on Friday, so you have to grind it all before Friday. Okay, grind. What's next? Something good? No, more grinding of this because it's going to end next Friday. Well, fuck. I liked Guild Wars. I liked going in and doing fractals. I liked doing dungeon runs. The day-to-day grind required and like the whole thought process, I got to do my dailies, that's going to take 2 hours out of my 3 hours of gaming time to do my dailies so that I can, it's just about the end of the month. I got to do my monthlies and all that crap. It's like, I'm sorry that I'd rather hop on, do a couple dungeon runs and have
They take you off a treadmill and put you on another one with Guild Wars 2. I enjoy the combat enough that I can hop in. I can't play day to day. That'd just be too much for me. But I can hop in occasionally and still enjoy that combat. Go through something that's kind of challenging and then put it down for a while. And so I like it in that respect.
I think I only really played it because you guys were playing it. Just pretty much. I got dragged, especially with the first Guild Wars. I got dragged into that. But I did like the combat actually because there was actually strategy to it. It was kind of, it wasn't just mindless hitting the same 3 buttons over and over again.
Right, and I think it works. It works in that respect. But the beauty is that since I do enjoy the combat system, but I am not the kind of person that's going to continue to play it so regularly. The fact that I don't have to pay for it is what's important. I don't have to pay monthly, and Elder Scrolls, man, that's gonna. We'll see if the
problem I've got with all these games, and I see it all the time, is I like to play these games, but I like to play them with other people. But the problem is, if I'm playing with other people, that means I've got to play as much as the other people, otherwise it becomes pointless. Now, Guild Wars 2 wasn't so bad for that. But any other one I've played, if you don't play as much and you don't keep up level-wise, you're done.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, I expect the same kind of grind to come out of the Final Fantasy 14. is now beta for PlayStation 4.
It's funny
That's
how
what's
something that was so final is now on its 14th iteration.
Well, I saw an article last week or so, at some point where an executive at Square Enix was just pretty much like, yeah, we're trying to do better. We're sorry.
I think we've heard that before.
It's a series that I actually like, but I like the older ones, not the new ones.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 6, isn't it?
7 and 9.
7, 8.
7, 8. I never got to play 9, but 7, 8, and 10 were my ones.
Yeah. I would have paid full price if they'd put out a HD version of 10 on the PC.
I remember
that is one of my favorite games.
That was shortly after the PlayStation 2 had come out, and
yeah, it was,
I played the demo, and I was very impressed by that game. The demo of Final Fantasy.
It's also it's a even if you just run through the story on that like as quickly as possible, it's still a 10-hour game.
As quickly as possible. There is no quick.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, even if you skip through all the cutscenes and everything, that is still a 10-hour game.
The last fight scene of Final Fantasy 7 was 2 hours.
Yes, it was. And I sweat like I just ran 6 miles.
I tried to do a speed run of Final Fantasy 10 when I did a 24-hour gaming thing, and I never got anywhere near the end.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. It's back to the days of where, the developers actually wanted you to stay playing the game, not buy the next one.
Now, is this game already out on PC?
I believe it is.
Because they're talking.
It is.
They're talking about how this server for the PS4 is running on the same server as the PC.
Oh, cross-platform play.
I don't know if that's going to be real cross-platform
or not. This is a
subscription-based
MMO as well, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. So I wonder how that's doing.
I know a lot of people I played Guild Wars 2 with migrated to this on the PC.
Really?
Yeah.
Makes me wonder. Because I haven't played it in so long. I wonder what it is now.
Well, but
apparently it sucks. Well, they were in on the beta, is what I was hearing, and apparently it sucked. There was not a lot of happiness being.
Yeah,
displayed.
you've got at the moment you've got this, and then you've got they've got two sort of iterations of the Final Fantasy series going on at the moment. They've got this, their MMO, and then they've got their actual single player, which I believe is like 13.3.5.7.9 or something stupid.
What?
Where they basically, it's like 13.3 or something. It's like 13 number 3. And they basically what they've done is taken Final Fantasy 13, which was extremely unsuccessful, and made 2 more versions of it.
So that'll work.
Yeah, and that's where that article came from, where he was just like, "Yeah, we're sorry. We're trying to do better." And the big thing with Square Enix is everybody just goes, make a Final Fantasy 7 remake, but the thing with that is, and I believe the creator of Final Fantasy has said this, that if they do that, their company is done. Because it will never be as good as the hype. They'll never be able to.
Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They will bankrupt. They will destroy their company by doing it. As much as I would love it, I would go out and buy a PlayStation 4 right now if they were going to do it for a PlayStation 4. But it's the end of their company if they do that, because it will never be as good as the hype. So they're going to keep making crappy MMOs instead.
Same subscription model.
It's the way to go.
The subscription model's the same. Full price plus 15 a month.
I remember looking at it the other day, and I saw that, and I was just like, "Yep, no,
not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen."
I'd consider trying it if I didn't have the subscription model. I don't want a monthly.
I'd rather just go back and play the HD version of Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Making those blocks less blocky.
Yeah. Where the characters were bigger than the buildings in some parts of that game. That is a fact. When you're running around outside in the open world sort of part of it, your head was bigger than the town you were walking into.
engages your imagination.
Yeah. Don't make them like that
Imagination
anymore.
is dead, my friend. Killed by Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Well, we talked about the Star Wars game a little while ago. Now we find out that the former lead for the game Uncharted is heading up a new Star Wars game. Now, isn't the new Star Wars game based on like the Battlefield engine?
It's on the Frostbite engine, yeah.
Is it that one, or is it? Because I noticed something was announced a few days ago that was we're doing an untitled, unreleased, whatever you want to call it, Star Wars game, and it's going to be based on the Batman Arkham sort of template.
With help me, Mickey Mouse Obi-Wan. Mickey Skywalker and Princess Minnie Leia.
Oh God, that's coming, isn't it? That's going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, story. I had to remind you of that tragedy.
Yeah, that's.
Isn't the one on the Frostbite engine going to be Star Wars Battlefront?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like because they've announced something new because they can the hell was it, that 313 third-person shooter they were doing?
Yeah.
Which no one was really that interested in.
The problem is now that EA owns Star Wars gaming rights and Disney owns Star Wars
Everything else. Yeah.
We're going to see an absolute whoring of the Star Wars.
Well, can't you already? There's already Star Wars related stuff at Disneyland, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're going to see this get milked.
You know what you're going to see is one of those, you're going to see one of those Kingdom Hearts games full of Star Wars characters. That's what's coming next.
The ironic thing, all through the show, I've been playing with my Star Wars man. Yeah.
Is that like a horrific nickname you've given to something?
Only when he's backwards like that. Oh yeah.
Pew pew.
Pew pew. Yeah, you got to have your Star Wars Lego, haven't you?
No.
You haven't got Star Wars Lego?
Unfortunately, I have Halo Lego.
I gave mine away. Halo Lego. I gave that away.
I still got them.
I was an absolute Halo fan. Little kid come over and was the kid of one of my wife's co-workers. He was just absolutely all about Halo, and he saw that, and I'm like, you can have it. Fuck, it's just sit here.
Still in the box. I'll give good money.
Is that the one that you got when you had to like queue for haters?
No,
the Halo Museum or something.
Yeah, we just have to walk through it.
We got the Halo bag, and we got which was a good bag for putting all the other shit in.
Right. Okay.
Good old all the Star Wars.
I still got my little tank that I got.
Yeah, my tank's over there.
Oh yeah, me too.
Shelf behind me.
You got a tank?
Yeah, we got World of Tanks.
The tanks tank.
No
I don't know
way.
if you guys can see that.
And the cookies that we ate.
Oh yeah, the cookies. Yeah.
I actually ate those. I can't believe we ate those.
Yeah, so did I.
I got nothing cool like that.
Mainly because I was like, shit,
nothing to compare it to.
I gotta go over the border in a minute. I probably can't take these without. I'll just eat it now.
Well, it's kind of like a spaceship. I got a Thunderbird. I don't know about anyone else. No.
I
The first year we got this tank.
I didn't get the little.
I don't think I got that. No, I must
in the
have.
box?
I got something. I don't know.
The three of us got the ones in the boxes, but we didn't get the little one you just had.
Yeah, the first year, then I got this one. The second year we got this one.
Upgrade.
And then I got this.
Which PAX East I think is going on right now. Right?
Yes, it is. No, it's Easter weekend, isn't it?
No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't make people miss Easter.
We got cool like mugs as well, like glass steins, which are actually pretty cool to drink beer out of.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds cool.
Is that your mug signal?
That's my mug signal. That is like a nationally recognized mug symbol.
All right. I was gonna wrap things up unless you guys want to talk about something else, like this last thing here, the Viscera cleanup detail thing.
Viscera?
Viscera.
I thought this was kind of funny. The video they have doesn't make it funny, where they could have made it very funny.
I know. This is an actual game available on Steam called Viscera. Okay, Viscera cleanup. Viscera. That's what I said first. Where you get to use this space mop. It's not a normal mop.
Space mop.
It's a space mop.
Look at that's a peanut.
Really, the idea that you have to go around and clean up after this space war that just took place. Oh, you got too much blood on your mop. You've got to wash that off and
So,
try
future
again.
janitor sound.
I like the way it's a complete joke, but at least it's someone actually thinking outside the box for a change.
Yeah.
Why does the mop, though, looks kind of like Zoidberg?
Right, that's what I'm talking about. It's a special space mop. Pick up brain pieces and bullet casings.
Somebody has to do it.
Oh, the biohazard. You gotta press a button for a biohazard container to put the parts in.
How do you actually get from stage to stage?
Well, I guess when you've cleaned the room.
Eventually, you get some teenager who doesn't really listen to
Can
you
you imagine there's
help.
that one little bit of blood you've missed?
Oh, and you can't find it.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those games.
This is like the Filipino immigrant.
Stupid mop is full of blood. Gotta get that fixed.
You know, it would have been better if you'd at least, you know, when you've got you're picking shit up, put it in your hand, not floating in front of your hands.
Yeah, well, it's just
Yeah,
given the right trailer, this could have been hilariously funny.
Mm-hmm. I told
have somebody like doing a Duke Nukem style voiceovers.
Well, yeah, like you can imagine if, like, say, Tripwire did the trailer for this or something. Where it's just, it's got co-op.
Oh, yeah, how made MML. No, Mr. Superman not home.
Maybe there'll be other equipment DLC. Yeah, Swiffer Sweeper.
Did you just get more lemon pledge? No.
Yes.
No. You
Maybe this ends. Maybe in order to proceed to the next level, somebody comes in with white gloves and wipes along the edges.
That's funny.
While I sing my song. Gonna clean up the floors, gonna make them shine. Take off the paint with the turpentine.
Oh, let's make a mod for this. That adds those features.
White glove inspection.
This is horrible.
The immigrant
It is
song.
horrendous.
Yeah.
This is like a game. There's this janitor sitting around. And he's like, I can make a fortune.
This is somebody that hates their job as a janitor.
Yeah, I'll get those kids back.
Space rugs.
No rugs, yeah. Oh. I'm trying to clean blood out of a rug. It's not easy.
Club soda.
It's not coming up.
That's when you get into crafting.
Making your own cleaning.
Yes.
Spot mover.
Oh man. How much
Where's
is
the
this game?
sex dungeon level?
Who's gotta clean that?
Like, what part of this connected a dot with a sex dungeon in your mind?
Clean up of disgusting fluids.
Is this the one where you're the one with? And we're going full circle here with Welshy playgrounds.
Oh, jeez.
Only $7.99 and you two can be playing this.
I can only imagine someone sort of walks in to see you playing this and I'm like, what are you doing?
Just cleaning up.
No, I know the reaction I would get. I just get the reaction of, right, so you can clean up in the game, but you can't clean up at home.
Yeah.
Now this would also be a good mod, like to any other game that we play. You play Battlefield or Call of Duty, and you have to go back and clean up the level at the end. Fix the fence that you just shot bullets through.
As you made.
You got too much blood in your bucket.
Stop people from mindlessly destroying buildings in Battlefield for no reason other than the fact that they destroy.
Yeah, that would. Yeah,
Team won. You gotta get work rebuilding.
bonus round, and you're part of the construction team that's got to rebuild the building again.
Wait, don't shoot the building, don't shoot the building.
I don't want to clean it up again. Yeah. There is a multiplayer version of this game.
Yeah, there is.
There is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The dueling mops.
Dual mop wielding.
Mop jousting.
I am truly...
If only I hadn't actually done mop jousting.
I need to know.
Somebody that's in this chat room.
I need to know what this multiplayer
I'm
is
gonna
like.
guess that's probably Breesy.
Yeah, on skateboards. I don't remember if he remembers that or not.
I don't remember what happened last weekend, let alone
Yeah.
many years ago.
Maybe we should have next week's show. We should all play this game while talking about the topics.
Yeah.
Why?
That
Why
would
not?
involve us buying this game.
Yeah. You're right. Okay.
I don't see me doing that.
Anything else you guys want to talk about today?
Windows 8.1 upgrade 1 is coming out on Tuesday, April 8th.
Yeah.
That's supposed to help out desktop users. We'll see. And
That's a joke.
And speaking of being a joke, Windows or Microsoft has made Windows free for device manufacturers if they make a device under, I think it might be 10 inches or 9. I think it might be 9 inches. As long as they make a device underneath that, then they won't get charged for a Windows license. So we'll see if that spurns any growth.
So if I build a PC and attach a small screen to it, I get Windows for free.
Maybe so.
I can deal with that.
Yeah. We'll see how that works out for Windows in the marketplace. Oh, and I thought you talked about it, but maybe you didn't. During the Build conference, Microsoft announced that they're going to have some initiative where you'll be able to build universal apps that work on the phone and on Windows Phone OS and on tablets and on the desktop.
Something nobody asked for, something nobody wants.
Yep. So that's what's coming soon. Oh, and it'll work on the Xbox too.
Only if Microsoft allows it. Right.
Yeah.
Only if Microsoft allows it.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, they're saying, please make something that works on our stuff, because we've right fucked things up. So please make something that works.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't know.
And then we'll call it ours.
No, Microsoft. I don't even think that's Microsoft. Microsoft just wants to steal the ideas. I think they're going to be just like Sony. Sony runs around and says, please help us. We have all these great pieces of hardware that we came up with, but we don't know how to use them. And then when you come right down to it, it's like, yeah, well, we'll look at your idea, but whatever. So what were these bunch of people that you just sent out on hands and knees begging for help?
We don't need you.
Sony Kickstarter.
It's only a matter of time before one of the big companies is on there. It's gonna happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
They'll do their own, like on Origin.
They'll make their own platform.
The Origin Kickstarter.
The next Call of Duty or Dead Space is going to be on there.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No.
No, then I will wrap it up if that's it. All right. I want to thank our host for taking the time out to chat today. Thank you very much, Welshy, for joining us.
No problem. Getting up at 9 a.m. sucks.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe we'll change the time at some point. Stryder, thank you very much for joining us.
It's always an adventure.
All right. Ham, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Breesy, thank you for joining us. You are almost the only one here.
No problem. Dedication, see?
That would have been a horrific show.
Oh. It's the I don't know show, yeah. All right. So on that, I will say thanks for everyone for joining us today. We'll be back again next week, I think. Yeah, we should be back. I don't know. Tune in and find out. We'll make fun of you. See you then. Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com. And please consider subscribing to modsonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners. And then, what? There's an Oculus Facebook Rift gameplay footage going on?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God.
It finally came in. What? The new Oculus Rift? Yep. Let's try it out.
I was wondering if you were going to put this movie on.
I did. Log into Facebook to play the game.
The NSA is just going to love the Oculus.
Oh, yeah.
Now you can't see him hacking into your screen. I like that. Purchase farm coins in order to speed up respawn time. Jeez.
I like how he's selecting the car. Do you see that? And then on the right, all the ads were like
Yes.
to that color of the car. That's quite good.
Oh, wow, that's a delay in the video. Getting killed by Mark Zuckerberg and then having him teabag you.
Sam, I like how the respawn's up to 8 minutes now as well. That's
Oh, joy. All right, everyone, enjoy your Oculus Rift. Now that you've went and bought one and you have nothing to do with it.
mm-hmm.
That'd be a lesson to you.
Bye, everybody.